Says it's starting. Starting. Do. Now, I don't know if anybody's out there. Oh, do I have the mics on? Mics on? What's all working here? Mics on. Hey, boys and girls, anybody out there? Let's see if anyone comes on. Anyone out there talking about whiskey? Maybe we'll try to invite Food Quig to this side. So, I have some bottles open. Probably should drink something. We'll see what's going on here. Maybe we have to go to Food Quig's live show to see if he's around. Hello? Who's watching out there in Wonderland? Two watching. Hello? Hello? Who's watching out there in Wonderland? Two watching. What? So many things to watch here. Hello? Hello? Who's watching out there in Wonderland? Two watching. What? So many things to watch here. Hello? Hello. Ryan, how you doing? Sure. Do you want to do that, Food Quig? Now I need to let it run on something. How you doing? Why do I have so many things? Sure. Do you want to do that? Is that better? Take the echo away. Here, I'll send you an invite, Food Quig. And I can remember how to type. I think you've been invited, Mr. Quig. No, I won't be on very long either, Loch Ness. We'll pop up this chat so I can see it better. Thanks for the subscription, Sriracha Ace. Mr. Fisk, how's it going? Too many things. I gotta learn how to do this. Hey, booze hounds. I'm not so much a booze hound. What am I gonna pour? I think I'm gonna pour this empty glass. I have sent you an invite, Food Quig. Did it go through? So, did we have fun with the dummies? See if I can't get this here to work. It was a fun live stream. They have fun, everybody. No one gets too serious. Some do, but they shouldn't. Battle of the live channels. Yeah, well, I think Food Quig and I are pretty laid back. We're not too worried about battling anybody. I got you, Food Quig, here. I think I put the wrong invite into somebody else to be wondering, who's that? Ryan, is Food Quig still on, or is he trying to come on here with me? There we are. There. No serious stuff. No, man. I love those manga shirts. I should probably go put on one right now. I think I have one in my closet. Jason, what you missed was a lot of chat, and then they were then Bart did a costume change into a godforsaken t-shirt that would scare you if you saw him in public. I actually kind of was a little bit late myself, so I didn't catch what they were drinking. Obviously, there was some talk about manga shirts, Pete, and board games. Food Quig, I sent you one, buddy. It should have come through by now. It's on Hangouts, though, right? Might take you a while to find it. I'm pretty sure, though, it's all working here. Unless you're still, you should. You don't have to join. I can join you, but probably work all right here. There you are. Says you're live. Says you're live, but you're not sitting in your chair. So no drinks for me as I recover from an ear infection. Well, I hope that's okay. I can't hear you, though. What are you saying? Oh, because you're muted.
Are you not on?
We're having fun here. Food Quig's go back and forth chatting while he's live. I don't know. We put it out there that he joined me, but I think he might have got why you're not on my stream.
Oh,
it was Ryan's idea. There we go.
Why are you not on my stream?
Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz, you asked me about
Okay, I'm gonna cruise over to Ryan and see what
you asked me about technology is crazy. You asked me about Kubicon. So you have a 1988 Kubicon? Yeah, there was a lot of talking and a lot of BS and a lot of giggles. Yeah. It wasn't what do you mean it wasn't your idea? I think you had something to do with it. You had a 14 earlier. Which 14 is it? I need to see what you guys can see here. So I know what's behind me now. Ryan's over here on this side. He can't hear him. Yes, it was a suggestion, Ryan. You know we're only teasing. And from what I can see, Food Quig is laughing too. We can send him another invite. It might take him a minute to find it, but. Are you guys watching both streams at the same time? That's all for fun. It's all for fun. I can't stay up as late as Food Quig. That was the primary reason. Left shoulder. So you're spying on me already. Not spying if I invite you into my house. I have several Kubicons. Did he come? Yeah. Kubicon 14, port finish. Is that what you were talking about, Loch Ness?
I got 11 people
watching. 14.
We got 9 people watching.
Port finish. Port wood finish. That is a good one. I actually have this that I opened last night, and I think that's what I'm going to go into.
We got 9. I got 10. Oh shit! Somebody left.
Somebody left. How many people we got watching both channels here right now? That would be kind of funny. Just to make it for the fun of it.
Okay, let's see what's going on back over here.
Richard Bruno. Santa Cruz, and that port finish is awesome. The one I mentioned to you, and if you can get one, is I sent one to Whiskey Lassie. If you guys know her, she's not on YouTube. She does her own video blog. Is this French oak? So Tominton's French oak is awesome.
And board game. They're always talking about board games and manga shirts. What else is there?
So he's playing me now. Quig is in the. He's ready the comments over Throttle's chat, yeah. You're funny there, Andy. He's reading the comments. I'm on my channel Hangouts. I sent you a Hangout invite.
Okay, maybe you sent me a.
Yes, I did.
No, I'm in my chair.
I see you in your chair now. There's a delay from what we see in our videos to what you guys see.
You sent me a hangout.
Yeah.
Okay.
Matthew Fowler from Australia, thanks for joining.
You know, I got 7 people watching and you've got 10. Oh, well, mine was less popular, so maybe I'll join you.
Oh, it's back and forth there. Can you guys still hear him chatting? I open this.
I think maybe I'll join you now. Hold on. I'll just say night all to all of you. And,
anyway, sorry about this, guys, but I think it's funny.
I'll end this debacle right here.
Food wasn't to join you now. Food wasn't to join. Now he says he's joining me. Loch Ness, I wish you could stick around, buddy. You tell me, Loch Ness, next time you're on one of the shows or whatever, and we're in the chat together. If you found this French oak, it's an excellent bottle. Well, it looks like he hung up and he's trying to join me. This is a very nice bottle. And Ryan, if you're watching and you find this, it might be difficult to find. I think it's 2 or 3 years old. So give it a shot. Yeah, but you're not live with me, dude. You stole me from Quig, OJ. Hey, OJ, you got some nice looking pistols on your Instagram, man. Those are pretty cool. Last time I shot a pistol was with ex-girlfriend about 5-6 years ago. Oh, I don't have a license here, so you have to have you got to have the ranger with you while you're on the range shooting. And he looked at me and he says, "I wouldn't want to get her mad." Yeah, my first shot hit the target hanger right on the metal. It's funny. I grew up in an area where we had a dump, and you would drive up there with Dad's .22 rifle, and we'd shoot rats all day long. But a little different than a pistol. Couple of Berettas. I mentioned to you in your comments there that there was a buddy here. He's originally from Quebec, but he's I think he owns 100 pistols. Not allowed to carry them though. Hey Richie Z, thanks for coming in. We're seeing that the food Quig will come back. He's on, but he's not live with me. He's live in the wrong area. I'll re-invite him here. He's invited me. Where's my chat? How many bottles do I have? I don't know. A couple hundred. Not that many. Most of the ones I keep open are somewhere else. How many do you have, Elite? Food. Big. Jason, what have you been buying lately, Jason? Hog Heaven t-shirt on Quig. That's what he's wearing? Oh no, he's wearing as I survived 12 hours of boom. Am I? No, I'm not frozen. The video's paused. So 200. Yeah. I got maybe 25 open. I've got 6 at the moment. Hey, I started out with only that much. If I had a wife and kids, I might own less. I don't know. A lot of times I'd buy a bottle when I was away working, and I just put it on a shelf, and it never got used up. I had friends that were big fans, and I would buy stuff to share with them, and then they moved and semi-retired on the island. So, where are you from, Elite? How did I come up with a name? From motorcycles. It's something that you hear if you look it up. If you type in whiskey throttle, different, like 2 separate words on YouTube, you'll see a ton of dirt bike guys jumping and skipping and hopping, and they're it's usually because you're trying to hold on, but you're pulling on the throttle, so you're all over the place. I don't ride dirt bikes, but I like the name because I own motorbikes. Santa Cruz, same old thing. Hog Heaven, yeah, same old thing. Australia, mate. Yeah, well, where was Daydrammin' too? Is it Daydrammin' or Day? He's on Instagram. No, you're not working today, Elite? Actually, funny story. I have a Sullivan's Cove, or did I? No, I have a monkey shoulder. My sister bought it for me when she was on her vacation in Australia. She came back with it in a Sullivan's Cove, and I picked the monkey shoulder because I can buy Sullivan's Cove over here cheaper than they sell it to you in Australia. But my nose is insensitive. Oh, this is a different conversation going on. Yes, Jason, I added a shelving in here, yeah. And I moved to a different room. One will be the office that I use when I'm working at home for my work. Usually I don't. So you gonna what are you and Richie talking about, Jason? What do you got again? It's so hard to keep up with the comments, so it's easier when they're Sullivan Cove, really, yeah, really. Some of the Sullivan Cove here wasn't bad, but I was trying to get a lot of their a lot of their private, smaller distilleries there that you could find them all on the internet, and I gave a list to my sister, but the only stores she got to were like big conglomerate stores like we have over here, and they didn't have anything. So I've got monkey shoulder. I actually have 2 monkey shoulders. I moved in here, so I actually haven't acquainted myself to where everything is. Oh, Deanston 20. I am kicking myself for not buying some Deanston. And there's a little bit left here in the city, but really what I want to get is the virgin oak because I like virgin oak. So we'll see. Now let's see. What happened to Ryan? Are you around? What happened to whatchamacallit there? I'm just checking on here, guys. I didn't mean to screw his show up. Maybe I can send him an email instead. Am I still live here? Come on, you stupid. Should pick up the Black Bull 12. I would. I like Black Bull. I always have. I didn't think I would, but I was at a tasting, and I still have this bottle. The guy's name for Duncan Taylor is Peter Curry, and he lives in California. He's from England. So, Richie, if you're in California and you ever happen to come across this guy doing a tasting for Duncan Taylor products, I'd certainly jump on it. This one here, obviously, you can't get. It is a Royal Bracula. They call it, I don't know if they still have this range. They call it the NC2 range. And it is 12 years old, distilled in 1999, bottled in 2011. So it's 12 years old, obviously, duh. But at his tasting, this is where I got my first introduction to not being fooled by the color and thinking that the darker the color, the better the whiskey. This was the lightest whiskey out of the 6 whiskeys we had at his masterclass. Okay, Food Creek, I'll invite you again, brother. Maybe I'll try a different way. I had to do that with whatchamacallit, but it worked. Quick is in the audience. Sorry about that, buddy. I did send him a chat there, but. I'm gonna try that one. How much, Richie? I keep trying to join. Okay, I'll keep an eye out for them. Yeah, I think the BB12 is $50 here. Oh, Black Wolf, $50. There you are, Food Quig.
I think we got it working now, finally.
Now I gotta turn that down. Maybe I don't want to back. Is that okay, guys? You're not hearing too much feedback. Oh, Black Wolf, $50. There you are, Food Quig.
I think we got it working now, finally.
Now I gotta turn that down. Maybe.
Okay, now whose echo are we getting?
I think you need to mute your.
Just a moment. Just a moment. I'll shut this off. Okay, I got that shut off, and I think I'm back to here, and there we are.
You're a good man. Sorry, okay. I didn't mean to.
I had two browsers working, and I was going back and forth between the two.
Oh, okay.
And for some reason, when I stopped my stream, I couldn't answer yours, even though it was there. And it says something like Whiskey Throttle is not a part of your something or other.
Oh, okay.
So there you go.
I am a part of our whatever, the Whiskey Tubers, I hope, sooner or later.
I've been in there since the beginning, but I seem to be the persona non grata lately because of last week's live stream or something. I don't know.
Well, we can discuss some of that, but I don't think that we need to discuss it on a live show.
Not particularly, no.
You're a grown man. You have to take care of yourself. That's all I'm going to say.
It's fair enough. It's good. It's what it is. Yeah.
Yep. So you got your taxes done. Is that good to get done?
Yeah, I guess so. But now I got to pay a bunch of money.
Oh. Well, I don't, fortunately, but all mine will go to pay for my whiskey.
Well, the problem is that I have paid for whiskey, and now I will have to pay for taxes for a change.
Well, it might be different in Alberta, yeah.
Whatever it is, it is. I got the thing worked out, and yeah, I will pay what it requires me to pay, and that will be the end of that.
There's not much you can do. A gentleman named Elite from Australia is asking what the prices are like here in where I live. I live in Canada, and province to province it can vary quite deeply. I live in Alberta,
and you have the best prices there are.
I think we do. In Alberta, we have the best prices in Canada.
And I'm in British Columbia, and we have the worst or second to worst prices in Canada. So there you go.
Between you and Ontario, yeah. Although I'll give you an example. Saskatchewan has some whiskeys that are actually cheaper, and Saskatchewan is all government liquor stores, right? The confusing part in British Columbia is that you have some government and some private liquor stores. It's kind of like when they decided to go private, I personally think someone went, I want my cake and eat it too, so we'll keep this. And so they have stupid laws, right?
Yeah, but there's another thing that confounds the whole problem here in British Columbia is that there are government stores and there are private stores, but the private stores have to buy from the government.
That's what I was just going to get at. Yeah, the private stores, but it's not just the stores. It's actually the liquor or the restaurants and whoever. If they want something, they have to buy from the provincial stores.
Correct.
That's what got them in trouble with the Single Malt Whiskey Society, right?
Exactly.
Chris Britton it depends on what store through Alberta, $30 difference on some. Yes, that's true. There are stores out here that are raping you, and I won't mention any because I don't know if I want to get into libel stuff now that I'm not doing live shows and YouTube videos. But what I was going to say about Saskatchewan is Glenn Farkless, 21-year-old in Alberta, is anywhere between 140 and 160, depending on the store you go to with what Chris is saying. In Ontario, it's $118, tax included. Right? So I can't see them actually buying it cheaper. I think that they're just not trying to jack the prices here. Elite, yeah, Santa Cruzan says it's the same price all around there. How about we just start bootlegging whiskey? Well, we could try. I've been watching that show down there in Kentucky called Moonshiners. I think that's a little bit of fake TV.
Well, TV, none of TV is really reality.
You have a friend that lives in San Francisco. I think they'll charge whatever they know will pay. Same as gas.
Oh, don't talk to me about gas now. We're at 145.9.
We're dying over here because we're at 120.
At 120, I freaking wish.
I knew that would get you going.
You know I drive a taxi, so I'm using gasoline every freaking day.
I have to get one of them electric cars, buddy.
That's what I got. It's a hybrid, but still, you know, instead of it costing me $12 a night, it's costing me $17 a night.
He's your fella, this Sriracha, is it Sriracha Ace?
Sriracha Ace, yeah.
Sriracha Ace, he's saying that the prices get pretty jacked in California too.
Yeah, I'm sure they are.
I do have some American rye and bourbon besides the EC. Yeah. EC being Elijah Craig. Do I have Elijah Craig showing up behind me? No, it's all in front of me. I have a whole bunch of Elijah Craig. Yeah. Their number 12 is my go-to bourbon. $1.35 a liter in Australia. So right now our price just went up. We were at just over $1, but we have 3 refineries in our area. They're all shut down for maintenance right now, all of them at the same time. So that's one of the reasons that the price is going up. It'll probably drop down again.
From elsewhere.
Yeah, we got to buy it from somewhere else, right?
Right.
Oh, the Julia just asked me if I'm going to bed soon. I better tell her.
Bedtime.
I changed my mind, and a guy named Ryan Summers and Food Quig got me to come on live for my own channel. Siri, I gotta always edit Siri. She drives me nuts.
I never use the Siri.
Well, it works. Anyway, I opened this yesterday. I did a live show with Julia.
What is that?
It's Tormore.
Tormore?
Yeah. It's a distillery from Speyside.
Well, I never heard of that one.
Yeah, it's I'll get the box, got more information on it, and we'll probably pronounce it a little different. It's a Gaelic word for Toramore. So it's Tormore, but obviously they would pronounce it Toramore.
Toramore.
And it means the big hill. The distillery overlooks the valley below. Its majestic architecture visible from miles around. Anyway, this is a 14-year-old, 43% ABV, and at first I didn't care for it. I'm still letting it grow on me. It's all American oak. It doesn't say anything else. It says refreshing citrus and raspberry notes. I haven't got a lot yet.
Well, just today, or was it last night? It was last night. I did 4 videos like I do almost every week.
Yep.
And I did a Glen Grant Majors Reserve. And I was quite surprised by this because it was only about $42.
A Glen, somebody, who was it yesterday on my show? Was it you, Richie Z, that was asking me about a Glen Grant?
Yeah.
So that's not that new. Glen Grant's been around for a while.
Glen Grant was not expensive, and it was quite nice.
Yeah. Why do I think I have a Glen Grant?
It was light with apples and pears, a touch of cinnamon, and a little bit of spice. And it had a lingering spice note that was kind of like cinnamon and brine.
Cinnamon and brine.
No, not brine. No, sorry. That was another whiskey. Cinnamon and white pepper. And the white pepper just lingered on and on and on and on. I'm going, wow, for $42, this is fantastic.
That's great. I have not tried some of the flavor notes that people say a lot, and a lot of times, like white pepper. I probably would like white pepper on my eggs instead of just. I have a pepper grinder, you know. It's just things. I think that having everything around so you can taste it is a challenge. I was thinking about getting one of those oil scent things that the sommeliers use, right? Okay, let's see what's going on here. Fretless Santa Cruz, Elite for premium unleaded. We get price close to what Matthew Fowler. $1.50 Elite. I tell you what, I do drive a V8, and it's not one of the good ones that's easy on the gas. So $1.21, and I'm driving an hour to and an hour back from work right now. And they don't compensate for your gas.
You're gonna hate me when I say this, Throttle.
What's that?
I have a 3-cylinder, 1-liter Geo Metro.
Yeah,
and this car gets 5 or less liters to the 100 kilometers, and I only drive it to go get groceries on a weekend. I walk to work because my taxi parks like a block from where I live.
Yeah.
And so I take my car out once a week, and a tank of gas lasts me 3 months.
Wow.
It cost me about $40. Okay, now that the prices are rising, it'll cost me a little more, maybe $46, but still.
Is it? Bourbon Shenanigans, how you doing? They just came on. Poured my first dram, Sagamore rye. Sagamore. I don't think I've ever tried Sagamore.
Sagamore rye.
And
old rye MGP distillate. Okay, Sagamore must be a different, a separate kind of brand name or something. Because MGP produces whiskey for anybody who wants to pay them for it.
Sure they do.
Yeah.
Elite is asking for a little tour of the whiskey room. I don't know if there's much.
Oh, go ahead, show them. I got a video coming up next week that shows all the whiskey I got. It's not anywhere near how much you got, but it's still something.
There's not that many.
Oh, fuck. You got a whole pile there. Lots of Glenmorangie, I see.
Well, some of that is because people bought me the big gifts, and I like Glenmorangie 10-year-old. And they buy me the gifts that come out during the holiday season with the glasses in them. I should do a glass review, eh? There's so many guys doing reviews.
I think you got more friends than I do, because nobody buys me whiskey except for Sneerson.
Well, some of these people are. It depends. Actually, it's kind of funny that I mentioned Monkey Shoulder. And here's an interesting thing you see, and the Elite, since you asked for the tour. I have the one that I have from Australia is 700 milliliters. And the one that I got in Canada here is 750, which I believe is probably made for North America, because in the US it has to be a 750. And I haven't opened up either one of them yet. And if you're one of them guys that follows the Whiskey Tribe, or you're a member of that, the Whiskey Tribe guys, they go on and on about this down in the States. They've got so many members. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder about them. I have to organize my whiskey for sure. Santa Cruz, and how do you have yours organized now? We have 14 viewers here, 12 viewers. It was 14. It moves up and down. Yeah, I think it is very good stuff. So what were you saying? You have what coming up?
Oh, just kind of like a survey of whiskeys that I have that are unopened. And I did an opened whiskey thing about a month ago, showing what I have opened.
Yeah.
And I decided to show what I have unopened. And so there's an unopened whiskey video coming up soon.
I have an armoire, or the whiskey wardrobe we call it, that I try to keep all my open bottles in, and they're in the living room, right, or dining room or whatever.
Mine is kind of like on the top of a coffee table, and what's under the table is what's still sealed.
Yeah, there you go. And
I decided to go underneath the table and grab out one bottle at a time and say, this is what I got. I haven't tried it yet. Don't know nothing about it, but I'm going to try it soon.
Yeah, I think you need to get Ryan Summers to go after Scotch and Sniff. He's copied your wall of whiskey behind him there, behind you.
Oh, that whole Scotch and Sniff thing, I was told about that months and months and months ago by Aquavite, Roy from Aquavite, who actually accused Scotch and Sniff of copying my whole idea.
Oh, wow.
And Scotch and Sniff apparently didn't take a very good view of what Roy was saying, but Roy took it in good spirit, and it's whatever, you know. If he wants to do that, that's fine, but you know who the original is, right?
Yeah, that's it. And imitation is the #1 way to compliment somebody, I think.
It's the sincerest form of flattery, and that's okay.
That's the word, it is sincere.
But there's no way that I'm ever going to go down to 1 minute whiskey reviews. I can't do that.
Well, no, but that's
are 15 or 20 minutes long, and that's how long it takes to do it properly. 1 minute, I get nothing out of 1 minute.
Matt Fowler asked me if I have any dusties. Is that a term for a dirty old bottle that hasn't been moved for a while? Or is it a different meaning, first of all, Matt?
Oh, wait a minute. Ryan Summers is asking, Quig, do you want to go after them? No, I don't care, really.
Just hopefully he knows that it was all a joke. No, he's not going after them, man.
It's all good. I mean, we don't even have a Scotch anymore. We only have a Sniff. They're only half there. I mean,
yeah, no, man, these guys are fine. He's just set up a wall to take pictures. It's not the same at all. I was just joking.
No, it's all good.
Yeah.
I don't have any malice towards anyone, really.
No, I think Ryan is just itching to get his law degree. That's all. He wants to go to court.
Oh, Ryan really wants to meet Tim in person and give him what all, you know.
Well, I would just let that person suffer on their own. That's all.
I think he's tortured enough as it is, really.
Yeah, if he's coming after a little guy like you, then he's got whatever. I don't know the history, and we won't get into it here, so. But what other question did we have here? Bretless says prices in Silicon Valley is after all the conversions, gallons to liters, and the Canadian dollar. I paid $1.14 Canadian per liter today. It almost sounds like everything's leveling out throughout North America if that's the price. But
$1.14 is low by my standards.
Well, it's very low for your standards. It's about almost where we would want to be. I think our price, when it went to 121 and then it dropped, it's dropping, like it can drop in a day here, right? But the thing that people don't realize, and I work in the oil industry in a sense, is that the price of a barrel has nothing to do with the price at a pump.
No, of course not.
That's all about supply and demand and getting it to the pump and all that type of stuff, right? So
what is an OG there, Ryan Summers? I don't know what an OG is.
You're the original of the YouTube reviewers, I think is what he's saying.
Oh, no. You have to blame that on Horst Learning and Ralphie Mitchell.
Sure, but you have done lots on there, right?
I've done a lot of whiskey videos over the last 4 years, yeah.
But you were doing other reviews before that, right?
Not necessarily, well, sort of.
You were doing other YouTube, had other YouTube projects that you were working on, right?
I started YouTube in 2006. So
yeah, that's I should have started something back then, but it wouldn't have been whiskey. I don't think I had any whiskey back then.
Nor did I.
No.
I was drinking Grant's Finest, and I thought that was the cat's ass.
Oh, did he? Jason Fisk just asked if I had to shovel. I could have shoveled, but I didn't because it was just a light, fluffy snow, and it was gone by noon. So, but it is a weird winter. I mean, or spring, pardon me. We're into the 4th week of spring, and I walked from where I have to walk into the plant. It's like a 15-minute walk to the office. Pardon me. And it was minus 20 every morning. And I mean, it warmed up pretty quick, you know, but it was still, it's crazy. This is the coldest spring we've had in a while, they say.
And last week we had a couple of nice warm spring days. And it was beautiful and sunny out there. And I even took a picture out my door. And then the last few days after that was rainy and pissy and terrible.
Oh, yeah.
And now, I don't know. I think it's clear today or tonight.
But that's Vancouver for you, right? Right?
Yeah.
You did a Bell Blair 99 review. That's what Richie Z, who has a nice collection himself, by the way, which we may not know about, but he told me he has a way more bottles than I ever had when I started.
I think the Bell Blair 99 was one of those whiskeys that was donated towards me.
Okay.
Or did I have a whole bottle of it? I forget. Wait, let me see. What's that one up on the wall there?
It came in a fancy box that opens from the corners.
Yes. It's right here. Yes.
Yeah, that's the bottle. Yeah.
Yeah, I bought that one a couple summers ago, and I opened it and tried it, and I liked it, and it was really good. And Richie's been watching since then. That's really wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah. So see, it doesn't matter. We all got the same followers. I keep wanting to call them fans. I just I thought I'd find mine. But
is
mine.
there any liquid left in there? Oh, wait. Wait, I got one too. I got this one here. This is a Gordon and MacPhail 10-year-old Bell Blair.
Oh, there you go. That's nice. Thank you for joining us, Elite. Don't work too hard over there. Hope to see you again.
Is he leaving?
Yeah, he's got to go back to work, he said.
Oh,
he's in Australia, so for him it's daytime work. I can't stay on too late tonight either. I got to be at work at 7 in the morning, and it's an hour drive.
I don't have to work till 6 in the evening, but I really want to catch up on watching videos because I'm about 4 days behind.
You know what? I was trying to keep up with everything, and I can't do it. I can't. It's hard. I get a chance to watch them, and sometimes I'll go on. I might not watch all of one of your videos, but I'll watch the majority of it. So let's go on to that subject of your videos for a minute. I'm going to put you on a hot seat.
Uh-oh.
I like to watch your videos because I think the minute, and I forget which one it was, not too long ago, just recently watching your videos with the girlfriend. And I said, what I like about you, Food Quig, is that you're getting into that moment that I think a lot of the guys do off a camera. Okay? I think a lot of the times when you're breaking down stuff, it's almost, you know, you're not worried about the production quality of your video or all that type of stuff. You're there.
I don't care. I really don't care.
No. You're with your dram and you're breaking it down. And I've never got to that point where I've been that patient with a whiskey to find out these things and give these kind of reviews and whatnot, right? I think that I can take that from you and try to learn from that to be patient is the word I'd use. Just like you are right now, just the way you sat back, you'll have a mouth of whiskey you'll have some whiskey in your mouth, and you just sit back and you're like there chewing it and you'll say a word and you're like, no, that's not it. It's more like this. I kind of got that this weekend with an SMWS bottling. It's the first time I smelled, and the first thing that I said was eucalyptus, but it was more like the eucalyptus rub, the vapor rub your mom would put on your chest when you were sick as a kid, right? I have never.
SWS is a little bit rich for my blood, but
they can be. This last outrun was very difficult, and we got an email that they're trying very hard. Rob and Kelly are the ones that distribute it in Canada, because Edmonton is not as big as Calgary. They're out of Calgary, and they seem to give more down to Calgary, and I was fighting to get what I wanted.
Mm-hmm,
I actually had to take my third and fourth choice over my other ones, right? So, but you know what? They're the type of people where you can talk with them and do things so that they're much more involved, and they're trying to do some things. So I'm sure that they're still dealing with stuff in BC because of the raids on the partner bars. So.
Oh goodness. I know there's only one store in town that carries SMWS bottlings, and of course, in order to get those, you have to join their club. And I don't know, it's what is it, like a couple $100 to join or something like that?
If you want the kit that it comes with, there's a kit.
Oh, a kit even.
That comes with a notebook and a membership pin, and it'll have, now it has 3 samples in it. 3. Mine's sitting here right in front of me somewhere. Oh, there it is.
Okay.
I haven't even opened mine up yet. I have. I mean, I've been a member for quite a few years now. But the kit, my kit is, I try to open it up without wrecking it. It's a nice little box. Comes with your membership card, which you're supposed to have if you go to one of the partner bars, which would primarily be in England.
Fancy schmancy.
Your little pin, and then you get a nice booklet here, a handbook that you can. It's basically a notebook. It's got. I've never even read them all the way through.
Well, what's really funny is I'm a member of some kind of club that's a malt whiskey club, but I never go for it because every time they offer me something, it costs a lot, and it's inconvenient, and it's at a time when I can't get there.
Yeah, and then they have 4 samples in the kits back in the day. Now they're down to 3, and I don't know. I think that's because there's new ownership.
And you haven't opened them yet.
And I haven't opened them yet. No.
Wow, that's commendable.
I think some of them are. There's a 12-year-old, 20-year-old, 11, and a 9-year-old. One is a Glenfarclas. I'd have to look up the other ones. Number 1 is Glenfarclas.
Okay.
It always is. So that was the first distillery that they ever got a barrel from. Now, that doesn't mean that they got the barrel directly from the distillery. That is something that, you know.
Well, now they're putting a stripe on the label saying where in the flight you're supposed to have it.
Well, that's more of a suggestion than anything. I think that just shows you that the lightest, and as it goes along, you'll get to peated. It'll be a light peat and then a heavy peat.
Right.
So it's just, I don't know. I think that a lot of it is still promoted toward people that are learning and experiencing whiskey more. Mm-hmm. So as a longer term member, you kind of have to have the patience for that too. If you're at a tasting where it's got newbies or people that are just coming by, because at our tastings you can come as a member, or you pay a little less than a non-member, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a neat little thing. Basically, it's a independent bottler, and they have a little bit of a different marketing than some. Matthew Fowler, SMWS doesn't have a batch on IBs like Cadenhead Signature, in my opinion. I like lots of the other independents. This whole thing behind me here is all my independents. Mm-hmm. Maybe some more or put somewhere else. Because if I have a Macallan's, I'll put it with my Macallan's. Like I said, I'm pretty fond of Duncan Taylor, so I'm not disagreeing with you there, Matthew, at all. Santa has some. Yes, Santa does have some impressive bottles. I think he said he had a 40-year-old Black Bull, and I think it was a newer release than mine. I have a Black Bull 40-year-old, but it's a 3rd release, and I think they're up to 6 or 7 now.
Well, I see you've got a bunch of Brook Laddie over your head there, and you've got some Talisker over your right shoulder, and
yeah. I'm gonna have to put a curtain up here behind me to do shows.
What else have we? Oh, we got some Ben Riach there by your elbow, and
Ben Riach by my elbow.
And some Bowmore on the other side, and some Macallan. Yeah.
I just have a bunch of stuff here. Here's a funny, everybody can hear me on the broadcast well, right?
Oh, you got the Macalonis, yeah?
I got that Macalonis, yeah. But I also have a great big blue mic here because I was going to do the live streams. I bought that's a Yeti, and I pushed it back here in the whiskeys because a buddy of mine found one on a mic on a stand, and I thought, and it was cheaper with the stand than the freaking buying the new one. It was like $100 instead of $160.
Okay, what is this Yeti spaghetti we're talking about here?
A Yeti is it's a multi-directional microphone. It's more radio.
Oh, it's a microphone. Okay.
Yeah. So I mix that in the blender. It just it's what whiskey dicks using it. That's what the STDs have, and I think everybody has it because you can turn here. You can turn this for a speaker that's right over your, like right in front of you, or you can turn it for if you're in a room with people all around the table. There's different things, and there's a mic in here. You can't see it. You might if you had a bright light shining through the wire.
Do I sound okay?
You sound fine, man. I wouldn't change anything. You sound actually better than some of the one of the other guys.
I'm just using my my iMac.
Will Throttle wear a mega shirt or a woman's shirt? I have a blue Yeti. Yeah, the blue Yeti's probably fine too. There's one more above this one here I saw, but it's way too much money. And
I just have the built-in microphone on my iMac and the built-in camera, and that's all I'm using.
You're awesome. I wouldn't worry about it one bit.
I'm not worried at all. I spent enough money on this iMac that I don't need to spend money on anything else.
No, the Mac's worth it. I have a Mac too, but I was using it yesterday, and for some reason it froze on me. But mine's over 10 years old, right?
No, this one's only about 4 years old now.
Is it? So what else?
I can update all the programming on it so that it's up to date.
You can do stuff with that for a long time. I did it with mine as well, but it's been a while.
Yeah.
I don't have any manga shirts, Ryan, and I don't know if I'm the guy you want to help you set up a mic. You have a blue Yeti. It's a little bit smaller, the Snowball, or no? That's what you got, the same one. Blue. Yeah. Okay. It's a blue Yeti. They're probably cheaper than down on the States. Back to the beginning of my journey. Old Poo B12 and No Tube Elbow are great stuff. You can't rush them. Let them breathe. Ah, yes. I'm loud and clear. Good. That mic's way over there too. I don't know. I never moved it in the room. I wasn't really planning on doing anything live. So
I just got to stock up on some water here. And
all right, buddy. I think I have a bottle of water here.
I'm going to do the Quiggy thing, and I'll be right back.
Quiggy. Just Quigging it. Just a little bit. We got to make him his own theme song. So I don't know, guys. I can't stay up as late as the Quig, so at some point I will have to sign off and get some sleep. Any questions going on out there? I can't leave right now because and grab a manga shirt. I don't have a manga shirt. I'm pretty sure I have a bowling shirt with some motorcycle stuff on it. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Ralphie. Who's Ralphie? Other than, you know what, Ralphie? Sriracha 8th. Oh, he put the price up, Ralphie. Yeah. You know what, though? I don't think he does it on purpose. Well, he has no control over what they do. It's supply and demand. So all of a sudden, I have a 21-year-old. Oh, back to the Dusties. Do I have any older bottles? Well, how old do you want to know about, Matt? Like, what do you mean old? My oldest bottling is 27 years old. I should put my motorcycle helmet on. It's right up there, but these motorcycle helmets, buddy, they're freaking tight. When they get on your head, there is like cheeks, and you bite your cheeks. What's an unopened bottle you've never tried you're going to open this week? I don't know. I don't think I'm going to open anything new this week, Richie. I just opened a Tourmore yesterday, and I want that to breathe a bit. I like it. I'd love to open up lots of bottles, and I don't buy anything unless I try it first. Got a few places that allow me to try things before.
What to drink?
I have some Springbank 21s bottle in the 90s. Wow, that's good. I actually have just been learning stuff. Actually, funny you mentioned that question. I have some Glenronics here, and if it wasn't for guys like Foodquig and SCDs and all them, I wouldn't have known it. That they're like, open that bottle and take a look at the side of it. So some of those are from 2013, right? The 18, the 15, the 21-year-old Parliament, right? I have lots of old stuff. Maybe not old to me. Oh, I'll show you one of my oldest bottles. This one here is 1985. Still got the label on the side. Don't know if that'll show it.
What is it, Alberta Premium?
A 1985 Alberta Premium, never opened.
Damn it, I just ran out of that stuff.
From 1985?
No, Alberta Premium of any year.
And if anybody from the States, Alberta Premium is rated as liquid gold by Jim Murray.
Well, I'll tell you what, you've just convinced me to open up or to pour my next dram, and it will be an Alberta Premium, but it will be a dark horse because that's all I got left. I
have a dark horse somewhere, which is funny. What do they call it? They call it something else in the U.S. And then my next oldest bottle.
Dark Horse right here. That's the one.
That's a good whiskey.
Yeah, I think I'll have some of that now.
Your Foodquig, what do you think of that one?
Which one is that?
Crown Royal from 1974.
Do you think it's any different from and it's still got the seal on it?
It's still got the seal on it, barely. This one, it's it's a little bottle. Back then, it was $8.50 for a 375 ml bottle.
Now the question is it any different from the current Crown Royal?
From what I was told by
side by side, would you find a difference between the two?
Davin DeKergamo told me it would be more like is it Majesty? I think that's what he said.
Majesty.
No, Jason, I don't have any Alberta Premium 25-year-old. Yeah, this one actually has Dusty on it there. So
now, I would be curious to try an older Alberta Premium than the non-age statement that I usually get.
Yeah, right beside each other.
Yeah.
This one could get opened. It's not really maybe one day I'll be in BC and I'll come over and we'll do a live together.
You're welcome to join my studio anytime.
Awesome. Maybe, and then we'll drive over to the island. And you're on the island, I think.
I'm on the island. Yep.
We'll drive over to the Macalonis there, and you watch whatchamacallit smack me because I never ever responded to his email to invest, and I said I would.
Oh, he wanted you to invest?
Well, I used to be a member. I was a board member.
Okay.
Very briefly to the Alberta Scotch Society.
All right.
It was kind of not really, didn't work out well. A lot of their meetings were when I had other business to take care of and stuff like that. So
that's all we did. Yeah.
They didn't know me from a hole in the wall. I was at the first meeting ever, and they made me a board member. So they're still good and they try, but I think they're busy people, right?
Anyway, their bottlings of Scotch whiskey, their blends are fantastic. I have said this before, and now they've got their own Mackinabrack that's been released. But have you heard anything lately about Craig Derrick whiskey?
Craig Derrick, no.
No, because there's this guy who started this. He was making gin, and the gin was called Victoria Gin.
Victoria Gin.
Yeah, it cost about $50 a bottle, about 2.5 times what normal gin would cost.
Yeah,
and it was quite nice. And they even had an oak gin, a gin that was aged in oak for about a year or two. and that stuff was really good too. And this guy made a whiskey called Craig Derrick whiskey.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. It was fabulous. I even did a video about it like 3 years ago.
I never heard of it.
And there was only 100 bottles being sold to the public, and you had to contact him privately and go to his little farm to get it. But he relocated the whole thing to somewhere in Sydney, BC, which is up the road like half an hour or 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But he used to be on this farm that was in central Saanich. And I haven't heard any word from him lately. And he wasn't at the Whiskey Festival this year.
Like he would be at the Whiskey Festival with some of his bottles?
Yeah. 2 years ago and 3 years ago, he was there, and he would, give tastes from his Craig Derrick whiskey. And I don't know if he had any more aging, but this stuff was about 4 or 5 years old, and it was phenomenal. It was better than some things that are 10 years old from Scotland. It was just amazing stuff.
They're talking about Deanston's 40. Somebody said they saw it for. We still got 12 viewers. I'm quite impressed by that, especially since I stole from your show.
Well, I think we were neck and neck there. You had one more than I did, and then I had one more than you did, and it was neck and neck, really.
Well, hopefully today you don't have any pressure. You got a bunch of guys in here. Most of them are your guys, anyway.
Well, I'm not worried. I'm just glad that we don't have certain unmentionable people in here tonight. So that's
no, I don't think we do. We'd eliminate them if we did, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier when there's a smaller group. When you get into someone like Roy and the STDs, when they've got 80 people watching, the comments are crazy.
Yeah, I know.
But $2,000 for a 40-year-old Deanston, and then Jason Fisk said he saw it in Tuscan down in the States for $400. The Whiskey Searcher.
Still, $300 or $400, we're talking too much for me.
Yeah, Santa Cruz says that he still remembers the first time I paid $100 for a bottle, and he thought to himself, "What the hell am I doing?" So
you know what? I remember when I first bought a bottle of whiskey. It was a Wiser's 10-year-old, 750 mils, Wiser's Deluxe.
Yeah.
It was $22. And I thought, this must be really good. And after I bought it, I had buyer's remorse. I wondered what the fuck I was doing.
Because it was no good.
No, it was great, but $22.
Yeah, well, that would be cheap now, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but the thing is, I was a student back then, and this was back in 1985.
Oh, see,
and
I wasn't even looking at whiskey then. I was probably still happy with beer and chicken wings. So,
and this was in 1985, and I thought that was a big freaking deal, $22 for a bottle.
I went to my local liquor store that I like to go to here with the girlfriend. First time she'd come into this one with me. Now, this store, Chateau Louis, if you're ever in Edmonton, Jason Fisk probably knows about it.
I've heard of this store a number of times now, thanks to all of you guys.
So they've got in their bottles that are $20,000 sitting in their glass case.
Fuck.
But she looked at me and she's like, "You're not buying these types of bottles, are you?" And I kind of chuckled. And then the manager there says, "Do you want to know how much that bottle you bought is worth now?" Because I had a couple of years ago bought a bottle from them, and if I wanted to buy that bottle now, it went up about 750%. Right. So there are people out there. So a story that I heard about George S. Grant, so the great grandson of the Glenn Farkless family.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody in Asia, China, I believe, flew him to their condo in China. I don't know which area. I would assume Hong Kong. Nobody lives in that condo. The condo is strictly for the man's whiskey collection.
Okay.
Flew George S. Grant there to sign his Glenfarclas collection. So there are people out there, my friend, that are, you know, I mean, and then there's us that are just trying to enjoy the whiskey. And I mean, I've been fortunate that I've come across a few that are worth money. I've also come across where I've bought ones that if we were in Ontario, it would be worth double the price, secondary market, right? But
well, I was told in the last week when I was doing a whiskey video, or I put a whiskey video up, and someone commented on that saying that it's foolishness to open that bottle. Well, and I'm going, why? I'm not a collector. I'm a drinker. I enjoy drinking whiskey rather than collecting it and watching it collect, you know,
I think that I'm
dust on the shelf.
I'm a little bit of both. I mean, I used to collect stuff as a kid, so
I would be a collector if I had space to store things.
Yeah, you don't have to collect a whole lot. Maybe you buy, if you, first of all, you like to try it, especially if you're buying something. You don't have to buy the expensive stuff. You can speculate. You know, I think Ralphie made a good video there with his Johnny Walker review many, many years back. And he said all whiskey is rare, right? He compared the red label with a bottle someone had found in the back of their grandfather's closet after he died and never been opened. And he gave the old one a higher rating slightly. But he says the key thing to remember is all whiskey is rare. So the water changes, the wood changes, the barley changes, or whatever grain is made from, depending on the whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have to agree, it's all rare. But if you're going to do that stuff, because he buys stuff and sells it at auctions. He was selling some on his last 2 or 3 videos showing it, because he wanted to make some money to buy some rum barrels. Right. He's not buying a bottle, he's buying an entire barrel. And he knows a few things, right? So there are certain reasons that I pay attention to Ralphie. And it's not necessarily just his opinion on a bottle of whiskey, right? So,
yeah, well, I'm not in it for the money. I'm just in it for the enjoyment.
That's right. So we got what do we got going on here? They were talking about whiskeys they've got that are worth money. So I have ones that I've told are worth money, but I don't know if they're worth anything. I have some Glenfarclas behind me that I found, and I wish I'd actually bought a couple of the other ones because they're old tubes, they're old releases. What I like about them, though, is that they're old. When you hold the old bottles next to the new bottles, you can see a difference. Somebody asked me about, what was that? Their Fisk, which Macallan am I going to open? I don't know which one you're talking about. So this is a Glenfarclas 12-year-old, and it's in an older bottle. And
that is a fancy tube you got there.
Yeah, well, I found out it was probably about 10-year-old release.
No kidding.
And I found it sitting in the back of our liquor depot, behind the till in a closed case. It's got all the George S. Grants in it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? John L. S. Grant is the chairman at the time. That's a signature. And there's John Grant and then all the Georges. Oh, and there's another John. And so this is an old bottle.
I almost bought a Glenfarclas last night.
Gosh, that's what she said. I don't know what I said, but I laugh. We say that in these comments more than anything. That's what she said. I forget. I don't know what I said while I was talking.
That's an older label. Yeah, that's an
older label. Just pay attention to the color on that, and I'll open up one of the newer bottles. So there's the new bottle, and there's the old bottle.
Okay, the new bottle looks familiar. Oh, much different. Yes.
Look at the color difference in that. You tell me that they aren't. Once upon a time, they were probably getting some of the best sherry barrels ever, or they're doing something different while they're blending them at the warehouse. Right? They're both 43% ABV, but the color is quite a bit different.
Well, I imagine that the newer one has some second fill and so on, rather than first fill, and the older one has nothing but first fill in it.
You might be right there. Yeah,
that's what it looks like to me.
We'll see. Somebody says that they might start reviewing Sriracha Ace. If I start reviewing Armagnacs, you want to do a live stream. Santa. Yeah, I don't know much about Armagnacs at all. Or are they quite a bit different than a cognac?
I don't know enough about cognacs and Armagnacs to make a comment on that right now.
Yeah. I don't
know enough about them.
I do this with some of my bottles once in a while. Turn them upside down and see until I see all the bubbles leave, so that the cork's gotten wet.
Oh,
that's just something I do. I don't know if you need to, but
with this one, it doesn't make a difference because it's a screw top plastic.
Screw top plastic, yeah. Hey, you know what? People don't realize that the artificial corks and the screw tops are probably better than a real cork.
Yes, they are.
Especially
then there's composite corks too.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The artificial, the composite. Yeah.
Well, composite is a bunch of sawdust and glue.
Oh, is that what those are? Well, I have ones that are not even that. Right.
I have some plastic ones and some that are sawdust and glue, and some that are real corks, and yeah, got a lot of them.
So, back to the Macallan's question. I don't have a ruby. If that comment was meant for me, Jason.
Oh, we're talking about the 1824 collection.
I don't have that. I have some old fine oaks. I have some 15. I have several 12s. They're not fine oaks. No, Richie, I don't have a Glenmorangie, and I'll tell you something, and I don't mean to say that I'm mad that you're asking a question. I don't have it, and I want one from the SMWS that was out this release, and it's one of the ones there wasn't enough bottles for everybody, and I'm PO'd about it. Tomorrow they're going to have a conversation with me, whether they like it or not, because there are some available, but they seem to want to allot them for people in Calgary only, and why should I pay more to travel to 3 hours away or have a shipped?
What are we talking about? Macallan?
The Glenmorangie, I find the regular bottling not to be that good. But the new Glenmorangie is, or the SMWS release, oh my God, it was heavenly. It was phenomenal.
Okay. I've only managed to get one Glenmorangie, and it's a port finish.
Yeah, this one here. Give me a second. I can look it up. You got me going on here. I'm going to pour a little dram of an SMWS. I think I said I'd save it.
SMWS that I have. I just have a port finish Glenmorangie, and it was not expensive. And I thought, okay, I'll pick it up. But Glenmorangie is hard to find around here.
Really? Because you go in and they have an entire shelf of it in some of the stores we have here.
Yeah, but these are different stores, and it's a different place.
Different world. I know they don't carry everything, right? Yeah, Richie, I want to get that. It just burns my ass that as a long-time member, I have to fight to get bottles. Oh, this one here is it is 60.4% refill, but ex-sherry, the Highlands.
Cask strength.
It is only 8 years old, but it was one of my favorite picks. And guess what? The only reason I have that bottle is because the guy there felt bad and he gave me a bottle of it, the heel, because I couldn't get it. He said, "Here, have the heel." Right? And I was a little choked up. So, and we're gonna add water to that because she is hot. Okay. These guys they're doing awesome having a conversation while they listen to us rant and rave about nothing. Santa Cruz, not sure, blah, blah, blah. So you brought up Armagnac, and it makes me think about cognac. So I have a buddy that was over in Spain, for a motorcycle trip with him and his girlfriend, but he was going to racetracks out there, right? Because I do a little bit of track days. He actually does racing, but he's from Quebec. He's French, and they have a family friend that is from Cognac in France. That the guy has cognac barrels, and that's what he does for a living. So he ferments grapes and makes cognac, and he has the old rock and mud storage area that the cognac goes in, and I guess he took him in there, and he let him pick from a barrel what he wanted. He let him try some, right, with a Valanche. They just sucked it out, and he gave him 5 bottles. Well, he only had one when I finally ran into him. I think it came all out of one barrel, which is technically illegal because the barrel has already got a stamp on it that says it belongs to Martel or to whoever they're paying him to make it. He gave him 5 bottles, and they didn't say anything at customs. They brought him back, and he let me have some one night. That's what we drank the whole night. So I got to try a single barrel cask strength cognac, which I think is pretty rare, except for the one that I own from the SMWS. Right? And that's what I like about the SMWS, and I guess it's any independent, is that you get a bottle from someone, they're never able to or ever going to try to duplicate it. This is a very dry sherry, and I have to pull up. I cannot remember for the life of me half the time what the numbers are on these, except for a couple.
Typing on this phone sucks.
On your phone? Why are you typing on your phone?
No, it's Santa Cruzan who said that.
What are you typing on your phone for? Trini and the Sea keep loading up videos here. So if anybody ever wants to know what the numbers are, you can go to whiskeyportal.com, and they have a list of all the SMWS numbers. And this is a Tula Barden that I am drinking right now, if anybody cares. You can still type on your computer and see the chat, can't you? King Louis. King Louis. Is that Delmore you're talking about, Richie? Because if it isn't, I'm not. Jason Fisk is watching on his iPhone. Oh, yeah, you know what, Jason? I've watched some of the live shows by all of you, all of the guys.
Ryan's back.
It's a pain in the ass. Where'd you go, Ryan? Probably taking care of his dad.
Maybe he did a quig.
Or he did a quig, yeah. It was a long quig. That's what she said. I can watch the TV big screen. Yeah, you have Apple TV, you just link it through there, or you have a different way, Santa Cruzan. Well, Food Quig, I'm going to finish this, and I'm going to have to say goodnight.
Okay, so maybe I'll do an after party.
You'll do another after party.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, he was taking care of his dad. Yes, I had to put my dad to. That's a very good, loyal son, my friend. Many people nowadays do not have enough respect for the elderly, let alone their parents. So that's good.
Well, that's almost saintly what Ryan is doing there with his dad.
I am very fortunate that both my parents, my mom's passed away a while ago, but I'm very fortunate that my brother-in-law and sister have always built. They built 2 houses that have in-law suites, so the parents are always taken very well. So I can respect that effort that Ryan has to put in.
Well, my mother has her own house back east.
Yeah.
And I live in a bachelor pad in Victoria. So there you go.
Well, your mom will always want you back. Thank you, Richie. I'm glad that I'm sure all of you guys subscribe to him already, and if you don't subscribe to me, why not? I will try to put out better content. I'm not gonna be fussy. I'm gonna be like Food Quig is. I'm gonna try to sit back and just let the whiskey talk to me. Kind of like a Vancouver Island guy, you know, bunch of tree hugging dirt worshippers.
As if.
So just so anybody in the chat and later watching this video, if they do, I said that because I knew it would have got a laugh out of the Quig. And I got a laugh and a spit. He almost spit his whiskey out.
No, the whiskey was already down, but I was spitting out.
So Quig, I'm from British Columbia, right?
Yeah, I got that.
Originally, yeah. So water all over. So you've got several videos ready to go up. We'll be seeing them. Any surprises?
Well, let's see. I can tell you what's coming up. Just let me find them. It's let's see now. Let me go to my dashboard here and Video Mangler. Come on, Video Mangler. Here we are. Okay, I got a Canadian Club 40-year-old whiskey.
Oh, nice.
That was donated by our friend Sneerson.
Is that all corn?
Not sure.
Okay.
Then I got a Amrut Bangalore Tiger. That is an Indian whiskey for Canada only.
Bangalore Tiger.
Bangalore Tiger.
That's actually, that Bangalore Tiger might be, it's only for British Columbia.
Oh, maybe it's only for British Columbia, but it says only for Canada. So maybe it's only for BC.
It might be, because here we have one that's a port finish. As a matter of fact, I don't have it, but
Is it called Porto Nova?
Oh, I can't remember. No.
I just finished that one tonight.
Did you?
Yes, I did. I poured a couple samples for Mike of Mike and Billy Whiskey Reviews.
Yeah.
I'm going to be sending them a sample of that.
I don't even know those guys. Who are they again?
Mike and Billy Whiskey Reviews.
Mike and Billy.
Mike and Billy, yeah.
I don't know them, but I'll check them out.
Okay. And then on Friday, there will be Under My Home Whiskey Bar. So all the sealed bottles that are underneath my bar, I'll be going through all of those.
Right on.
Then the following Monday, Danfield's Private Reserve. You're probably familiar with that being in Alberta.
I am, but I've never tried it.
It's from Lethbridge. It's quite fantastic.
Oh, I know what you mean now. Yes, I can
yeah.
the bottle. Yep.
Then on Wednesday, Glen Grant Majors Reserve, which is a nice, gentle Speyside. Very, very nice. It has a white pepper kind of finish to it after apples and pears. That'll be going on. And then I have a Wednesday, Compass Box Hedonism, which is a blended grain Scotch whiskey. And then a Lefroy Carchis 2017 quarter cask single malt Scotch.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jason Fisk just said he has an Amrut intermediate sherry itching to crack.
Oh, that's one I haven't tried yet.
How long have you had that one? Because that's an older release. Did it come in a big red box?
Yeah, that's one I haven't tried yet.
The gentleman that you mentioned there, Mike and whatever reviews, Ryan says that they hated the Elijah Craig barrel proof, said it was all burn. Which, if it's barrel proof, of course, it's like even this one here. If I didn't try to do and manipulate it with a little water, I would get nothing but burn.
Yeah, well, you got to take tiny little sips and you got to add some water.
Yeah, you try it hot.
But those guys come along as newbies, right? They get these expensive and really great whiskeys, and they just come along like they don't know shit about it, and they try it out.
Yeah, okay, well, that's good. It's a good try, yeah. They do some good quality stuff there, Mr. Ace.
Yep.
I actually made a comment on Amrut's Facebook page about their, they have an orange one, and so does Compass Box. But the Amrut calls theirs a single malt.
Oh, I have not seen that one before.
And it is made with oranges.
Uh-oh.
That, and the orange is the name. What is that? Naranji?
Naranji.
And I made a comment about, like, well, yeah, that's already been done by Compass Box. And I got a blasting comment back. Not blasting. The guy was very professional. He's like, no, we're not. It's not the same at all. Theirs actually infused the orange right into the actual aging process, I believe, or the making process of it. And I'd have to do my research to remember how, what's the word? How Compass Box did it.
Jason Fisk is saying that Billy is hilarious.
I will have to look them up.
Yeah, he Billy kind of pissed off Swami Suave from Malted in Montreal.
Oh, how do you do that?
Oh, by being obnoxious on a thing like this.
A live chat.
On a live, yeah, he was quite obnoxious.
Jason Fisk, is this your is that what your box looks like, buddy?
Oh, that's a sherry Amrut. That's one I've never seen either.
That's the intermediate.
Okay, that's one I've never seen. I've never had that.
The Amrut sample at a bar, Mr. Ace says.
What is that? 57.1% alcohol? I saw.
Yes, it is.
Freaking good.
Very nice dark color. You betcha. I don't know if they do an age stamp on these ones to see if it's how long ago it came out. But I've had this one for a while. I had another bottle of it and finished it.
No.
But they put it in a pretty funky size box.
The one that I have now is this one here. This is the Bangalore Tiger.
Yep.
And the Porto Nova is one that I just emptied. And it's full of water right now in the fridge. Actually, I need some water. Maybe I'll go get that.
You do fill up your bottles of water with water. You get the most out of your whiskey, eh?
Yeah, I get everything out of it that I can. I'll be right back.
So, but it must be the same bottle, same type, Jason. It's probably the new bottles don't come in that big fancy package, because I'll tell you the truth, the box is a little bit low quality. If it wasn't sitting on a shelf, it was in a store getting moved around a lot, I think it'd probably get busted up pretty easy. So yep. I would, the Compass Box has an orange, or had an orange as well.
Here it is. Right here, the Porto Nova, but it's got water in the bottle right now.
Ah, okay. Yeah, no, I haven't had that one.
Nope.
This is the Compass Box orange one, Ryan.
Orangerie.
Yeah,
it's another one I've never seen.
They call it a spirit drink, a Scotch whiskey infusion with fresh oranges and exotic spices. And I tell you, I've only got the one bottle left. Of course, they have it in a dark bottle. It's not very dark. The liquid itself is a pretty clear liquid. You can see through the bottle here pretty easy. But very, very flavorful. Very good.
What? You know what? It still smells like Amrut Porto Nova.
Yeah, man. There's got to be some stuff in there when you reuse those bottles. I thought maybe that's what we were doing.
That's what I'm doing. There's a little bit of flavor in there.
Yeah.
I gotta figure out what to drink next.
Right. Well, you get ready, because here I'm going to finish this dram, and we're going to let these viewers switch to you. The Compass Box is the Orangia. Yeah, Rich, that's what it is here. It is not a liqueur. And Swami's just opinionated, that's all. It's all right to be opinionated, as long as you let other people have their opinions too. I never met these other two guys, but were they on, what did Swami invite them on their show? Because I think he's trying to be very nice and helpful when he does that, like you did this weekend here with
We talking about Mike and Billy?
Whiskey. No, we're talking about Swami. Somebody's got a comment in here, the Swami. He doesn't like Trump, but then again, I don't care about politics, man. It doesn't matter who you vote in.
They're all the same. They're all crooked. They're all politicians.
Yeah, if you want to find out more or less my opinion, it's not my belief, it's my opinion. Look up on YouTube George Carlin and Voting is Meaningless.
And here's where I'm going right now.
Cutty Shark Prohibition. That's nice. I don't have a Cutty Shark.
50% alcohol by volume and dirt cheap.
Yep. Mike, Billy, I can't tell you who'd win in that. I'd have to actually see these two guys. They're probably good guys, yeah.
Yeah, they're
Listen,
okay.
I'm doing this for the first time. I'm 50 years old on YouTube. I'm sure that I'm going to have critics and people say this and that. And guess what? You sticking your neck out. Your opinion is just your opinion, and the same when people say stuff about you, right? So the
Throttle. Everybody's got one, and that's an opinion.
Well, who said that? Where is that?
I'm saying that everybody's got one.
That's right. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody.
Correct. You got it.
Yeah, that's as close as I want to get to swearing on my channel too, though. Not that I work in construction and swearing is normal, but we'll try to avoid it. I have to agree with my mother. I think that we can think of better ways to say things.
Well, any swearing that anyone would do. Anyone would do. I've heard it before, having driven taxi for 25 years.
Yeah. Jason wants to meet up with Swami in California on his road trip. Yeah.
I look forward to videos from that whole thing.
Yeah, I hope he takes his phone and gets set up a little bit. For mine, I bought this little Rode. Too bad the guys from Australia aren't on here anymore. This is called Rode. Rode is a brand of microphones. They consider this a shotgun mic, but it actually attaches to the bottom. Like when you're doing your festival videos, buddy. If you bought one of these, and I think they're $80, something like that. You get them at London Drugs maybe, or at a camera shop. It plugs into the back of into your phone jack and mounts on there, and then you can have you can put earphones in there, like you can put another plug in so that you can hear what is coming through this mic. But then if you wanted to interview somebody, they're going to sound crystal clear through that microphone, right? So it works. Ryan, the whiskey, the Illuminati. Yeah, isn't that something wonderful that they've got us?
No. So far, I've been using just the phone, and it's worked okay.
Yeah, but you're moving around like lightning, man. Sometimes like, whoa, what am I watching? You're gonna make somebody have a epileptic fit. I grew up with epilepsy. I get a little worried. But if there are some little things, gimmicks that they're not gimmicks. They work. They're good equipment. You don't need a lot that fit onto your phone and make it a little bit better. I know you're only kidding, Ryan. I don't even know what the Illuminati is. Ryan and I were joking or talking one evening there about the Freemasons, and I told him I was a Mason, but I'm not free.
That's right. You charge money for every time you put some mortar between the bricks, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Why do you think, one of the good industries that are around, and a lot of people look down on them, but that's janitors. Because you don't want to clean up your own garbage, well, then you got to pay somebody to do it. And some of them are the most humblest people around. I've met guys that are janitors that have been doctors and lawyers and so forth in other countries. And it takes a little bit of humility to do stuff.
I'll tell you what, I've been a taxi driver for 25 years.
Yep.
And I started out when I trained to be a geologist.
Yep.
And I did not like being unemployed half of the year. And I did not like having a boss. And so I found myself broke and needing to pay my rent. And I saw a guy driving a taxi going past me. And I said, I can do that between jobs.
Yeah.
I started doing that, and 25 years later, I'm still doing that. I'm not complaining. It's okay.
I think that would be a great job to do. Well, maybe not nowadays. There's too many crazy people, but
Oh, there's just as many crazy people today as there was 25 years ago.
yeah, you're probably right.
It's no different. It's the general public. It hasn't changed.
Sriracha Ace is going. Speaking of orange, he's going to open up his second dram, an Old Forester single barrel, which happens to have some strange autograph.
I got some Old Forester. I'll be trying that in the months up ahead.
Talking about orange, I have, and I think I have another bottle of this. And you and I'll talk here. Well, I'll get a hold of you maybe tomorrow. I'll send you an email.
Millstone.
This is from Holland. Millstone. We talked about this before. You will not believe how much orange you get off of this. Like orange rind, like the rind has been turned into a candy. It's so freaking wicked, and it's 100% rye.
Is there as much orange in that as you would get out of Glengarry Virgin Oak?
I think more, but I'm just saying that because I've never tried a Glengarry Virgin Oak.
Because Glengarry Virgin Oak is just orange, 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 forward orange all over the place.
Yeah. Well, I like it. I've got some orange candy. If you watched my live yesterday, which went on way longer than I thought, I have some of this. Julie and I like to joke about candies and chocolate.
I'm sorry to say that I'm still 4 days behind on my watching of videos.
Oh, well, I almost pulled a Quig. This one was over 2 hours long.
Oh, no, 2 hours.
This was Brookside candy, but there's one where it has oranges and something else in it. And I tell you something, they were, I'm like, Julia said, oh, I'm eating some of your candy. I was still at work and she was at the house. I'm like, which ones are you eating? Anyway, she was eating the orange one. I'm like, I want to save that because I'd like to do a review of that whiskey, a proper review. I've talked about it lots. I seem to enjoy doing these lives more than I do video recordings.
I've seen these Brooksides at the grocery store and stuff.
Yeah, they're very tasty.
Yeah.
So Ryan says Quig loves M&Ms with caramel.
Yes, caramel M&Ms are the bomb.
They're the bomb, really.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, I appreciate you coming on here. Quig, I'm sorry I jumped on there. You get online faster than I can. I came to my computer right after that show and I was still frigging around with the computer to do.
No worries. You were commenting on things that I said 5 minutes earlier. Okay.
Yeah, well, you know what? Right now, when I'm watching you and me, I'm watching you and me as we record it or as it's being seen by the camera.
I'm seeing just you.
Yeah, but I am. But if you and I went to what's being broadcast to everybody in the chat room, they're seeing us maybe 10 seconds later. There's a delay. And so when you're reading comments, if I'm watching your live show and you're reading comments, you've already finished reading those in real life. What I'm seeing to you is delayed, right?
Right, just a little bit.
Yeah, just it's I don't know how that works or why. It
is what it is.
It is, yeah.
Because I'm seeing you live right now as it is.
You and I are on time together.
You're live, but on the other screen it's delayed. And I'm seeing you and me and stuff, but if I go back to the live, all I see is you.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Because I've got both screens going at the same time.
All right. Quig, it's way past my bedtime as it is. I get up here and now I'll be waking up in 5 hours instead of 6.
Okay, pleasant dreams to you now.
All right, you take care, buddy.
Yeah, you too, and maybe I'll go on for another hour or so.
Yeah, don't stay up too late. Young fella like you, you're still growing. You need to get some sleep.
Yeah, I got to get my beauty rest.
Right on, quick. I got one little drop in the bottom of this glass. Salancha, everybody. Thank you very much. Take care of the quig for us all, eh? Thanks again, boys. And thanks for that, Jason.